Hey there guys, Proelios here again, and this is going to be another VOD review. Um, I had a lot of fun making the first video, and I haven't got any feedback on it from you guys yet. I've barely got maybe 20 views on it, but I'm going to do another one. Let's see if I can kind of get the hang of this thing. I'm planning to do like one map from some of the matches that I missed out this week. So for this video, I'm going to be taking the Boston Uprising versus the NYXL, and I think which one should I pick? Mm, I did Control last time. Let's do Assault this time. Hanamura.
Ready for battle.
All right. So just talking about these teams a little bit. The Boston Uprising went winless in Stage 4, and like yeah, honestly, they played quite badly. There's no doubt about that. They also had like one substitution. The off-tank player RCK had some medical issues. Because of that, they had to sub their flex DPS Blase in for the off-tank role. And yeah, in general, things didn't work out. The NYXL, not that bad, but they were still they still played stage for like below average, you can say. So uh, didn't expect great things from them even in this match. I don't know how this map played out because I didn't watch this broadcast live. Neither have I watched the replay before making this video. So let's see how things go. And yeah, looks like NYXL is gonna go with a bunker defense with a pharmacy. So double main healer.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
And actually have Libero on May to wall people off here at this choke. Flower, normally a hit scan player. I didn't know Flower actually plays projectile. So double main healer, they don't have a defensive ultimate, they're just gonna rely on the high amount of healing they have to sustain themselves. Let's placate Jonak here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Alright, so what Jonak wants to do as Ana, like this position. Alright, let's just see what's happened actually. Mano has launched his first barrier here to allow Flower, who's also being damage boosted by Animo. He's gonna get some early poke damage off. And maybe with those rockets, he gets like one pick on his squishy. That's like the best scenario you can hope for. But I think Boston will be like wise to that strategy. So you can see they're going from the other side. You can see through the wall. So what the shield does is it allows Slough to poke without being at risk of like getting eliminated. Uh, and you can see Jonak's position over here. He's in a spot where he can heal his entire team without being at risk of getting killed himself. So this kind of cross position is what you generally want to take as an Ana. You can also land nades at this spot in case the Uprising decide to run over Mano and Libero. So yeah, this is a really good position. So right now, what Jonak wants to do is simply just sustain his team. Anamo and the Mercy will be pocketing Flower, and Jonak has to simply take care of the rest of his team, which is Mano, Libero, and where the hell is Meko? Where's Meko? Meko's okay. Meko's here. Okay, yeah. So Meko, he didn't render earlier, did he? So yeah, that's what Jonak's gonna do, and he's gonna try and land some fat anti-nades when the Uprising get near Mano and Libero. So that would be my win condition as like Ana right now. Let's see what Jonak does.
Time for a new adventure!
Boston's going with the divey setup here.
Please move behind the barrier.
Okay.
I recommend moving behind my barrier.
Excuse me?
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Time to raise my APM.
Near me.
Nice sleep.
أنا هاخد بالي منك. Kill the Mongols!
Special attack.
Get back in the fight and get me. You
Alright,
won't regret it.
so that was a really good barrage by Flower. I can't believe he managed to build up one entire ultimate during one team fight. So let's just see what happened there once again. Let's take a top view. Still got a bad throat, man. 2 to 4. Let's see it at half the speed. Alright. So your Flower's just poking at the choke.
Routing power to forward barrier.
We're gonna see Color Hex over here. He's going to try something to help him get past the choke.
Defense matrix activated.
So he uses Wraith form and gets to the high ground there, while Fusions grapples onto the high ground himself. And they're going to try somewhat of a flank attack over here. And you can see Stella on the Sombra has also gone to the back line. So now you're going to see Stella, who runs over to Meko, is kind of isolated. And Fusion, he's also going to dive Meko. So that's their plan, right? The Uprising's plan was to dive the isolated Roadhog and to take him out. So you can see Stella instantly goes in and hacks Meko over there. And Hanamura immediately starts pocketing him. And Jonak, who's also in a favorable position, he's also able to take care of Meko. But you can see, like, the Uprising as a unit, they are just moving towards Meko to try and take him out.
Powering shields.
Time to raise my APM.
Meko backs off. The Uprising get point presence over here. Mano moves in. They're just poking around.
Rooftop on.
Playing the spell. That should cover. Collects just poking, trying to pressure Mano and Libero off the point. But they just keep dancing on it.
Activating shield.
Meanwhile, Flower and Hanamura flank around.
This will heal you.
And you can see Color X. He realizes that Jonak is kind of open, so he teleports to the high ground. Jonak tries to sleep him, but that does not work. And meanwhile, you can just see Flower running rampant, and no one's really contesting him at the moment. So he gets a kill onto Blasi as well as Color Hex. And Fusions and Persia, they're just kind of struggling on the point, while Color Hex and even Stellar seemingly go on to take Jonak out. And Color Hex succeeds. He takes out Jonak. But you see the NYXL rotate behind.
Clear impact area.
Focus on the Sombra. Mano and Fusions are in a duel.
Kill the Mongols. Justice reigns from above.
Flower just pops off. Gets killed, but he wins. Like, Flower just won that fight for the NYXL. I'd say that was kind of a soft carry on his part. So you can see what really happened over there. So the Uprising's plan was to split the Excelsior's focus, get somebody in the back line, because of which they would not know where exactly the enemy is going to engage from. And they saw Meko in the back, whom they tried to isolate and take out. But the NYXL, well, they were just too good to fall for that strategy. And they were able to clutch that fight basically. There was some really good healing coming in from Anamo and Jonak. And although Kalahex did try to, like, he took Jonak out, he took Flower out, but all in all, not a great engagement from the Uprising. They didn't account for the peel that the NYXL would have for the Roadhog. Am I going too deep into analysis? I think I am. I think I'm going too deep, yeah. Um, let's just simplify stuff so that I like constantly am aware of what I'm talking about, and so that this video doesn't get unnecessarily long. Alright, I want to spectate Hanamura right now. He's got his Valkyrie. I want to see how he uses it.
Damage increase. Wow. Don't let up on them. Ich kümmere mich dich. This is not the
Heroes never die.
Nano boost administered.
Let's get to that outcome.
Nice.
I'm taking care of you.
Moving behind.
Alright, that was great. And one really important thing that Hanamura did was, wait, let me just point that out here. Okay, he's popped Valkyrie already. Maybe go a bit behind. Alright, so the point's being captured right now by the Uprising. And Anamo is currently just healing his team, obviously. Roadhog has been taken out by Kalahex. And here, Anamo goes for a res his Mekko, and then realizes that Stellar is in a really aggressive position and is probably going to pop his EMP. Because
Der
of which,
Kampf ist noch nicht vorbei. Helden
Apagando
sterben
las
nicht.
luces.
Anamo instantly pops Valkyrie as soon as he gets the slightest hint that Stellar's gonna pop EMP, and that's a great way to And you saw he immediately flew out of the EMP's radius, so he wasn't affected by it, and he could continue healing his entire team because of the when Valkyrie is popped, Mercy does 60 HPs of healing per second instead of 50 HP, which he normally does. So that's a really good move by Anamo, and it's really good work. So he just kept on pocketing his team, who got the damage in and got the eliminations they needed.
وريهم قوتك.
Powering shield.
Alright, Libero's next. So he has Blizzard, and you guys know that Blase, who's on the Diva, he can eat the Blizzard, right? So right now, Libero's win condition would just be to freeze the Diva and then execute his Blizzard, or to just use Blizzard at an angle at which the Diva cannot eat it, right? And of course, May's role on Hanamura is just simply to wall people off one by one as they enter this choke and eliminate them. So that's also another thing Libero is going to try and probably do. So let's see what he actually ends up doing in this fight. So his win condition, just land a fat Blizzard and make sure that Blasi does not eat that.
Barrier enemy contact.
¿Qué tal? No!
Gale de Mahol. Rocket barrage incoming.
动住！不许走！
Nice.
Nerf this.
Nano boost at minute.
What a clutch. Are they actually gonna win that?
My
Wow.
automat is ready.
So that was pretty good. Like obviously great clutch by the NYXL. Flower's just kind of a pog champ in this regard. He's been getting like one barrage every fight or something. I've lost count. But yeah, he got an early elimination, and you saw Libero over there. I'm not gonna rewind to that spot because it was kind of just like really easy to spot. But you saw Stellar on the Sombra. He passed right next to Libero, because of which he got detected. And Libero instantly started spy checking. That's what we call it when you try and land a hit on an invisible Sombra. So he immediately started using his left click stream to kind of locate wherever Stellar was around him. And that's something that I don't see a lot of players doing, at least in my rank games. So in case you have, especially a beam hero, it's really easy for you to spy check, especially when you detect that a Sombra is near you. So remember to do that whenever you're playing your competitive matches. It can be of great value because spotting out a Sombra, it not only forces her to translocate back to where she came from, but it also prevents her from hacking people. So whenever Sombra takes damage, she cannot hack people for us like a few milliseconds or 1 second or something like that. I don't know about the time limit there, but yeah, great showing by Libero. And now let's look actually at color hex. So right now there's 33 seconds left, which means the Uprising just have one scrappy fight, which they can use to try and cap the point. And you can see Mano has his supercharger and Anamo has his Valkyrie. Meko is coming up on a whole hog. Then Stellar nearly has EMP. Fusions might get a minefield in this fight. I don't really know. Right now for Kalahex, his win condition would just be like to use his Death Blossom on a few squishies. So his easiest targets right now would probably be Jonak and actually just Jonak, because Libero can kind of wall him off. You use Cryo Freeze, Meko can hook him. Oh yeah, that's another important cooldown that Kalahex will have to watch out for, which is Meko's hook. Because if he lands that hook, the Death Blossom ends. It's as simple as that. So I don't know. Maybe just Kalax should wait for Stellar's EMP. So once that EMP lands, Kalax can just use his Blossom and get a few more kills than he would normally expect to get against that composition. So let's see what he ends up doing.
30 seconds remaining.
Let's finish this.
Cease your resistance.
From the shadows.
Helden sterben nicht.
Die, die, die.
10 seconds. Targets neutralized.
So
Overtime.
that's over. The attack is over. So one cooldown that the like what actually stopped Kalax's Blossom was not Meko's hook, but it was Libero just freezing him throughout that ultimate. And he started freezing him a little before he even began his Death Blossom, if you notice, because of which he got frozen pretty early, and Libero didn't take a ton of damage there. Um, and yeah, that was really clever from Libero. And although I don't think it's completely Color Hex's fault, he did get a bit frazzled, and May was just not the target to go for the Death Blossom. So yeah, just like probably poor coordination from the Boston Uprising, and the Excelsior end up holding the first point over here. They gave up two ticks, over two ticks actually, so nearly the entire point. But yeah, they don't have a very difficult target to achieve.
Round 1 complete. Score 0-0. Switching sides. Initiating match.
We'll just forward this a bit.
Ready for battle.
Alright, so last round we didn't really end up spectating the defensive Pharah, and the Uprising are going for the exact same setup that the Excelsior had used. So they are going for a double main healer with Ana and Mercy. They have Mercy pocketing the Pharah, which Color Hex is playing, and Stellar is playing the Mei. Obviously, you have the Orisa Hog. So let's spectate Color Hex again. Um, let's see how the defensive Pharah really operates. Right now, he just wants to apply pressure, and he wants to try and just prevent the Excelsior from having a clean engagement. That's what you do as Pharah, and try and get a pick off on the squishies.
Your support has arrived.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
I am empowered.
Clearing the area. Get back. Clearing the area.
APM 좀 올려볼까?
I can use all the systems. Move back.
Heroes never die.
Time to raid my APM.
It has to clearing the area.
I need healing.
Come on.
I require
Damage
healing.
amplified. I am empowered.
Amazing.
Please move behind the battle.
Alright, so that engagement, for the entire duration of that engagement, you saw Color Hex like had the role of a proper like traditional DPS, just apply damage, try and get kills. So you saw him get a kill onto Flowers Doomfist over there, and he was simply just applying pressure while the Excelsior engaged on his team's tanks. So that's what you want to be doing as Pharah, like, because remember with the Mercy Pocket, Pharah can do a ton of damage, and you really have to leverage that. So even if you don't get picks, the constant damage that you apply is really valuable to your team. So that's what Kalax ended up doing, and just like that, along with like just a decent performance from the rest of his team, helped them. Like they let the NYXL take one tick, but they ended up defending that point in that engagement. You also saw the NYXL kind of going for a similar engagement which the Uprising went for earlier, which meant they just took this high ground straight away, flanked on behind, reset their cooldowns, and then engaged onto their tanks. So yeah, that's what happened there. And right now, I actually want to spectate Blase. We haven't spectated Roadhog players even in the like since the first video. So let's see what he ends up doing. Right now, what you would want to do as a Roadhog is just obviously get the hook combos with fusions, the hot hook combos basically. So you can instantly get one pick with that, and that really helps your team in the team fight. And as for his whole hog, you'd probably see him use it on the likes of Flower or Mano because they would be the easiest targets in this regard. Libero could just Wraith form, and Meko could use Defense Matrix and take a different position. And Anam just not a great hitbox. It would just like uh, take a long time to really focus him down. And as for Jonak, he can fade away on the Moira. So if I were playing Blazia's position right now, I would just look to land those hooks and get off a nice whole hog onto Mano. That would be my primary target. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Nano boost almost
I'm on
ready.
fire.
你好，
有本事就过来。
For your safety, please move behind the barrier.
The power of destruction.
Kill the Mahol.
I'm being attacked.
I am on
Team for special attack.
That's a good one.
This is my will.
The invites as well. Yeah, so I'll tell you guys the problem here.
Area did.
Come on. Alright. Over here, you guys see Jonak has already taken the high ground. Mano has flanked around from the right side. He's gone behind them. And now there are four of the other players waiting to engage. So Flower engages, gets on
Gale
the
the
high ground,
Mahol!
immediately destroyed by Color Hex. But look at what Blasi is doing. He's trying to obviously went for a commendable hook against Jonak, which he missed.
Time.
Then while this fight is breaking out, like Mano slipped over there, which is really good from Persia. Blasi is just dancing around
Warihom
on the side,
Awedic!
down poking, not really getting any value
I
out of
am
his kit.
unstoppable.
Cease your resistance!
Meanwhile, Jonak just beams down Persia, and Anamo kind of uses sound barrier to guarantee that they win the team fight.
冻住，不许走。
Justice reigns from above.
Good kill, good DMAC.
Area denied.
Blasio just kind of gets isolated. He doesn't enter the fight with his team early on. Like he goes for that hook against Jonak, and then he just basically sits on the high ground for a couple of seconds, not doing anything that gets value. And I think that really hurt his team's chances of winning that team fight. So ultimately, even though the Uprising do get a few picks off, the Excelsior are the superior ones in this team fight. They don't have
Meteor strike!
This was really fantastic from Blase. Like a Reaper and Death Blossom is really vulnerable to Whole Hog. So Blase chose to use his ultimate there in order to basically eliminate the Reaper. So he's dead. But Libero did manage to get Kelex in that in the meantime, which means Uprising has no healers on point. Meanwhile, Jonak gets a kill onto Blase. And there's nothing at this point which the Uprising can really do. That's just a clean, easy kill on Fusion. And that's the point.
Victory.
So that's the map, guys. That's Hanamura by the Uprising and the Envixel. Oh man, I'm a bit tired. So I think this was actually like still a really long video. I don't think it should have been this long. What I want to do is like since I'm going to be doing a few more VOD reviews, I think I'm going to tone my analysis down a little bit. Just talk about the people that I am spectating, and if there are any like massively amazing engagements, then I will talk about those. But yeah, right now I don't think I should be talking about the macro scale of things. Just focus on the person that I'm spectating and the plays that they make. That way the video can be shorter, and I won't just bore you guys with like some talk which you might not want to know or feel the need to know. So because what's really relevant to us as players in ranked is like just individual plays that we can make on the heroes that we've picked. Uh, these macro engagements, like you cannot simply coordinate them in uh, ranked because of people don't generally group up, right? And there's no people on comms, so you can't expect to make engagements like that. So yeah, next time I'll just talk about the individual plays that each player is making, and I'll try to keep the engagement knowledge to a minimum. So yeah, thanks guys for watching this video. You can leave me some feedback in the comment section below. Like the video if you enjoyed it and thought I made sense. Share it with anyone who is like diamond and above. See if they think that I know what I'm talking about. I really like to know if the community thinks that I actually understand this game. Um, so yeah, thanks for watching. Do check out the video's description. I've linked a survey on RollQ on there, along with one of my latest Overwatch League articles. So do give it a read. Let me know how those are as well, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.